what we're doing?
I'm going to tell you what we're doing. That's what I'm going to do, darn it.
Right then.
First
Quit
of all,
yelling.
first of all, um, I'm assigning you a task right now that you're going to do the intro to this episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast. Go for it.
Oh, the pressure.
You've got to
Anyway,
step out. You cannot hide in your little comfort zone for the rest of your life, Jeff. You got to get out. You got to do some things you don't want to do now and then. I know you've been putting up
all
windscreens.
right. All right. All right. Well, welcome to the show. My name is Jeff Jacklich. This guy,
This
right
jerk
here.
over here, yeah.
this guy over here is Brent Maxwell Abel
Junior.
Jr.
Oh yes,
Almost forgot the most important part.
that is.
Yeah. Anyway, here we are. What are we doing here today? We're talking about
I don't know, man.
stuff.
I don't know. God, okay. This is why do I think?
What?
Why do I think that there's a chance? Maybe today, the
I'm not
time,
gonna butcher it.
the moon's all lined up. I'm thinking maybe today's the day where it comes off smooth.
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
Just get on with it, will you? Because we got a short amount of time. Just
All
do your
right.
thing, will
All
you?
right,
Come
dude.
on.
All right. So anyway, well, let's see. So this is Gold Ball Hunting, right? Podcast, right? You can see it on YouTube. You can listen to it on iTunes or other audio sources. This is episode number 100 and boy, I don't know, 24, 25, somewhere in there. We're doing a daily podcast. We're not actually recording every day, thank God. As you can see, we need. It would be a little rough, but anyway, we are publishing every day. I'm in La Jolla, California. I got a tournament here this next few days. Jeff, you're over there at the Wesson Lawn Tennis Club in Pontiac, Michigan.
Yep.
And getting ready to open the doors for another cool season there in the grass courts. That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So, guys, a couple things before we get on to today's topic. It is a free 10-minute coaching call. It's private, so you can open up to us. Right? It's not a public deal.
Right.
Not a public deal. No one's going to listen to it except me and
it
Jeff.
It won't be an episode.
It won't be an episode. It won't be on the internet. We're not going to secretly record you. Total privacy. And did I say it's free? I said it's free. And it's only 10 minutes, so you got to bring that one thing to the game right now that is struggle. Struggle central. Can't figure it out. Do it yourselfer. Maybe your pro can't help you. You guys have worked on it. That's fine. Yeah. But let's get on that coaching call, and Jeff and I will put you on the path to the result that you want. The way to do that, go over to goldballhunting.com. First name, email address, and then click the button, and you'll get immediate access to our online calendar scheduler where you can cherry pick the date and time that works best for you. So, Jeff, I want to ask you something today. I got... not going to do it. Is that... I'm sorry.
Don't start with me.
I'm a little punchy. I did take a nap earlier today, and I still kind of messed up here. So I watched Fed beat Choric. I can never know how to pronounce that guy's name. I know Borna, but
Borna Choric. I think it's Choric.
Anyway, and the thing I feel from Fed is that he's never really thinking about the score. At least it looks like he's never thinking, God dang it, if I win this point, then I'll be up 30-love. And
he's not thinking about the future score.
Right. He's not thinking about the future score. I mean, obviously he knows what the score is right now, but he's not thinking about, the consequences of winning or losing this point mean something out in the future. And so I think a lot of us think if I win this point, then all these things could happen. Or if, God dang it, if I lose this point, then all this stuff could happen. And I sort of have this sense watching Fed and other pros is that, I mean, they might be thinking, who knows? But to me, they give me this feeling like if I think out in the future, I cannot play tennis the way that I've practiced, the way that I've trained.
Right.
I cannot use any experience that I've gained over all the years and decades of playing.
Right.
And so my whole thing is that I think we got to find ways to not think in the future, but just to consider, how do I want to start this point right here? Not how am I going to win
Right.
it. You might have a strategy. You might have a tactic as to how you want to play this next point. Well, it's your serve.
Right.
Okay, well, yeah, if it's your serve, you got to be thinking, hey, I know where I'm serving. I know exactly where I'm serving.
Right.
Could be to the body, could be tee, could be wide, could be a certain version of spin, whatever, singles or doubles. So there is that thought in terms of tactics and strategies. But I think what gets in the way of a lot of players, especially when they get near the end of it, maybe a game or a set or even a match,
Right.
is they start thinking, man, I start thinking, God, if I can just win this point, wouldn't it be great if I just put it in there and the guy just had this fit and somehow screwed it up.
Right.
And the
Coughed it up to you.
That's right. Never came back. But I just think that whole thing of thinking out in the future, whether it's the next point or maybe even, it's 4-all. God, if I can win 2 games.
Right.
How do we, first of all, how do we not have those thoughts? Or instead of that, how do we replace those thoughts with something more constructive, something more positive that actually enables us rather than inhibits us from
Right.
playing the game to the highest, whatever our highest skill level is right now? I'm not saying that, here's how to play like Roger Federer. Stop it. You can't teach anyone how to. So, but how do we enable ourselves to be able in tight moments, tight moments?
Yeah, I think again, human beings, tend to make, in general, the higher the stress load, the worse the decisions get made, right? And so in a sporting event, those players that achieve, the winning of events or multiple winning of events, gold balls, whatever, or, winning the club championship, whatever it might be, those players somehow that day or that week manage not to project, right? They manage to play in a fashion that is, I hate to use the classic term, play within yourself, but and that's only possible if you know what that is. You know what I mean? Like what your skill set is, what your toolbox is, your best equipment, and you're playing. That's really what playing within yourself is. First you got to know your toolbox and you got to understand how to use it. So once you have, assuming you have those couple things, you can actually get on with playing the game, deploying a tactic, and actually kind of just see if this works out. And I think that's kind of the flavor of what you get when you watch Fed. He just swings so freely that it's almost like his assumption is that it's going to work out. Most of the time it does. Sometimes it doesn't. And does he get disappointed? Yeah, his press conference after he lost last week in Monte Carlo, right? When he had 3 match points, I think, and he didn't convert, right? And he was sitting there, and you could tell he was annoyed.
Yeah.
That he didn't convert.
Right.
But I'll see you in Rome next week. And just like anybody, it's gonna he probably needed a couple glasses of wine that night to kind of like chill, see the family, see the reality of life is great, and I get to do this thing, and I'm pretty good at it. And so, but the match time is, it's just, he seems to have this ability to not be overly concerned with the immediate outcome. He's just performing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I think that's the key to be able to, you just said perform, but I think that is the key. That's the mental key to being able to play, or give yourself the best chance to play at your current highest skill level. And I think if we think too much about, God, I hope he misses this shot. I just played a good ball. Please miss it. all this kind of stuff, or, if I can win this point, then all those kind of thoughts get in the way of you bringing out your best tennis. So there's risk there, right? There's risk that if I don't try to control every little thing out there, that that might mean that I'm going to lose. Yeah, it might mean that you're going to lose. But just like you said, Jeff, hey, there's always another league match next week. There's always another senior match somewhere. I mean, another senior tournament somewhere in your region. And frankly, stop thinking about the social BS.
Oh,
just stop thinking about that, because
you mean your reputation?
No, your status in life.
Status. That's it.
Is, well, look, it seems to be an instinctive human thing, which is status, and yet to me, when I've like the guys who I've sort of always admired, my age group, the very top guys are the ones that they get beat, and it's kind of like, well, okay, I'll see you next week over at wherever.
Right.
And it's like, God, I'd be looking for the Golden Gate Bridge if I lost to that guy.
Right.
And these guys are gone. So, I don't know.
You know what? That reminds me of Jimmy Connors more than once. Whether you like the guy or hated the guy, I happen to love the way the guy competed. He was just, I've said it before, he was begging for the guy to hit the ball back, right? But at the end of matches, and they do that little encore interview, I can't even count how many times he said, "Congratulations, you got me today. I'll see you next week in Florida." He was just like, "Okay, let's go.
Yeah,
put the gloves back on, and I'll see you next week."
Right.
There was like no hesitation in his mind about competition, and I know I'm going to see you again, and I'm going to get another crack at you.
Yeah.
And so he seemed to really embrace that opportunity, that a loss wasn't the end of the world. It was just, okay, I owe this guy a whooping.
Right. Yeah.
For him, it seemed to be a motivating factor, and I think for, obviously the top guys, they seem to be able to move through a loss and not have it, be the end of the world.
Yeah.
Well,
look, I would tell our listeners and viewers that thinking out in the future, even if it's just the nano future, is toxic to you being able to play your best tennis for the next point. And part of what we all have to learn how to do is control or manage what we do between points.
Right.
We have complete control of that 25 seconds or whatever it is. We've got complete control of all the time in the side change, and we need to manage it. And if you don't manage it correctly, you are going to set yourself up for the next point, potentially to not play at the top of your skill level. So, all right, Jeff. Well, listen, good stuff. I know you got to scoot. You got more windscreens to be hanging, or you got to do something out there today. So anyway, guys, listen, thanks again for hanging out with us today. Stop thinking out in the future. Stay in the present. And free coaching call.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good idea.
It's a great idea.
10 minutes
Fantastic.
free. It's private. Again, we're not going to record the thing and, put it out there on the interwebs and, so no one's going to know what your thing is. So it's just us.
No.
It's me and Jeff, private. 10 minutes, you bring that one thing in your game that's kind of a stickler. What is it, stick in the mud? No, a person's a stick in the mud.
Stick in the mud.
I don't know what it is.
It's a stickler. It's a burr in your hide. It's a stick in the spokes. It's a something.
Anyway, it's a problem. Whatever it is, we want to help you solve it. So, guys, the way to get on that free coaching call, goldballhunting.com. First name, email address, click the button, and you get access to our online calendar scheduler. Jeff, what would we love for the fine folks to do right now?
Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below.
Outstanding. Guys, get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Jeff, we're going to do this again tomorrow.
I can't wait.
Okay.